Greetings, beautiful people. My name is Kathy Brooks. I am an educational psychologist, a professor, a mother, a cat mother, and for the purposes of this vlog, I am a citizen of the United States. 2020 has been an emotional roller coaster for most of the world, and especially for the United States. COVID 19 really sent us to a place that no one has ever been. The country was on lockdown. We were to shelter in place. At some point, we did not have toilet paper. The shelves on the supermarket were empty. It was like a movie. The government was giving us conflicting messages. The doctors would come on every day and tell us how serious this virus was, and each day they had learned more and more about the virus, while the president was telling us that the virus was a hoax and that we did not need to wear protective wear. We did not need to be so far away initially from other people, and then we started to be 6 feet away from people, and eventually we started to wear our mask and our gloves. Unfortunately, by that time, over 200,000 Americans had lost their lives to COVID 19. People lost their jobs and thereby the way that they support their families. The black community is experiencing COVID 19 at a greater rate than any other community in the United States. This may be because of lack of medical insurance or them receiving poor care within the medical community. It has been long thought that blacks experience illnesses differently than other ethnic groups. Quite often, their cries go unheard because the doctors believe it is false. Whatever their complaint is, they think that they're being emotional. I know that people have heard that black people are very emotional. I've even heard black people say that we are very emotional. It sends a message to people not to take us seriously, and so I have a problem with that. Um, then there is police brutality. And we've heard about police brutality in the black community for as long as I have been alive. However, the specific murder of Mr. George Floyd by an officer who felt the right to place his knee on Mr. Floyd's neck for over 8 minutes until his demise, the world was able to see this over and over and over again, which made people want to do something about it. We all saw that it was unnecessary, it was uncalled for. Mr. Floyd had already had handcuffs on, he was not resisting arrest. There was no reason for him to be on the street, like face down on the street, and there was no reason for the police to take his life. Protests began in this country, all over this country, and even in some other countries, because, again, worldwide, the video of his demise was seen worldwide. And people protested police brutality. And for once, the world got to see on a platform that the black community was not making up police brutality, that Kaepernick was not exaggerating by taking a knee, but that it is true that the black community is treated differently than other communities by the police. Simultaneously, we experienced the rise of Karen. And we all know who Karen is. Karen is a white woman. She's usually middle aged. And she usually feels that she has the power, the right to question black people And if she does not get the response that she wants to get, then she will call the police on them. Now, I just said that the black community experiences disproportionate brutality at the hands of the police. And so Karen knows that she has power when she calls the police. And we again had the opportunity to witness Karen when she was approached in a park by a bird watcher, a black bird watcher, because black people like nature too. She was approached and asked to put her dog on a leash, and she didn't care for that. She didn't care for that at all, and so she picked up her phone. And thank God he picked up his phone as well and videotaped her as she called the police and lied and said that this black man was threatening not only her but her dog. And if you guys know anything about America, you know America loves its dogs. In fact, I think America loves its dogs more than they love us black people. Yeah. So she put a 1-2 punch in there, and she told the police that she was being threatened, and she knew the power in those words. So the fact that the black man approached her angered her so much that she felt that it was warranted that he could potentially die because of it. So the culmination of all of this, it is now November the 1st, right? And this started in March for the United States at least. And so it's almost the entire year that we've been going through all of this. Protest. There's been looting. There's been murder. What happened was the Black Lives Matter group went out in protest. And let me just say they went out with nonviolent protest. They were joined by many people. They were joined by some very good people who were angered as well about Mr. Floyd's death. And they were right along with Black Lives Matter, and it was a wonderful thing. And then there were some interlopers who also came, and they did not mean to help the case. They meant to cause harm. And this is not something that somebody told me, or I'm listening to CNN too much or anything like that. It is something that I saw with my own eyes, where I saw white people with blackface on. Of course, they didn't put the white lips, but they did put black, like charcoal all over their skin. They put on black clothing, and then I saw them firebombing, and I saw them in just black attire, writing on walls threats from BLM. I saw them. This was interesting to me because I saw them drive their car up to a store that they wanted to loot, and park the car in front of the store, break the glass, go into the store, not take a couple of boxes the store that I saw was a sneaker store. So it wasn't the individual boxes of sneakers, but they went in and took the big shipping boxes, put them in the car, several boxes, and then drive off. And then other people started going into the store after that, because that's how people are, right? That's how people are. But I'm saying all of that to say that, yes, that was wrong, but the Black Lives Matter movement did not start the negativity. And then I talked to my son, and I was just saying I didn't understand the looting. I didn't understand why that was necessary. And my thought process was that it takes away from the message that Black Lives Matter was trying to send. And he said to me something that's poignant and that made me look at it differently. And what he said to me is that nobody really cares when people are marching. Black people have been marching since the 50s, and not much has happened um, to change the ills toward the societal ills toward black people. But once somebody starts to lose money because of a social issue, then people start to pay attention to that social issue, and then some changes occur. And fortunately and or unfortunately, he's right. After some of that initial protesting, where the interlopers actually did wrong, people did come aboard and start, jobs started talking about being inclusive and treating people in the black community equally. And what can we do to change the culture in our company and things of that nature? So I did see changes. I know that in my own job, um, we meet every week and talk about racism from different um, perspectives, and so we get to look at it from different perspectives, and then we also are are educating one another, because everybody doesn't know about everybody else's plight, and so it's allowing us to know, how everybody feels about it, and it is making a change, and it made me feel really proud to be working at a school who actually cared about the people who work there. I know that they care about the students, and that's something that's kind of a given, but it feels nice to know that they also care about the people who work there. And so the culmination of all of this um, is the focus of my vlog. I want to talk about PTSD, which is post traumatic stress disorder, the symptoms of it and the treatment of it, and its effect on the black community in America. So please join me as I attempt to dissect the effect of these stressors and investigate appropriate treatment toward the health and wellness of the black community in America. Feel free, please, to join me. Let's make it a discussion. Let's put our minds together and figure this thing out for our community's well being. I plan to be on YouTube on a daily basis, um, 6 o'clock Mountain Time, which is 7 o'clock Pacific Time, and 10 o'clock Eastern Time. I had to think about it. Please join me. The name of my vlog is We Will Survive, a discussion with Kathy Brooks. And I look forward to talking with you, to meeting you all, and making a difference in the community. So let's go.